Youtooz hasn't been around very long, and since these reviews are going in order of release, we've only seen 4 waves of their signature vinyl figures. As such, the possibilities are really endless. There are like 15 FNaF games now. They can make the toys, or the fun times, or if we really want to get crazy with it, FNaF World. It's really exciting and the future looks bright, and even though the last wave was kinda dumb, I for one am excited to see how Youtooz lets their designers shine and the animatronic representation we'll get to review going forward. First we had FNaF 1, then we had Security Breach, and in a major upset, Fanverse, and lastly, Purple Guy 3 times. Now, get ready for the latest in Youtooz creativity, Security Breach again! Oh no, they're already out of ideas! Of course, I'm just kidding. Out of anything they could have given a second wave, Security Breach was a great option. I mean, they could only cover the glam rocks at Vanny the first time around. And there are so many characters deserving of a full-blown Youtooz like Gregory, or Vanessa, or DJ Music Man, or the Blob, or the daycare attendant. Welp. At least I got a 20%? Hello and welcome to Prize Corner, the FNaF merch review show whose opinions are very inconsistent. I can go from ranting for 15 minutes about a character I don't like to praising them 2 episodes later. Releasing on March 3rd, 2023, 4 new figures based on the most controversial FNaF game were put out. While they may not have hit all the marks I wanted them to, at least 2 of these figures are really exciting, and I'm very happy to be talking about them here today. But before I do, there's something we need to discuss. This set of Youtooz is not currently available on the website, which isn't weird on its own. Most Youtooz eventually sell out. It's more so the way they stopped their sale. These 4 figures were only available for 7 days before they sold out forever. Okay, let's talk about the most controversial thing Youtooz does.
And I couldn't be more excited.
Youtooz has 3 main ways of releasing their products. Just putting them on the website, and when they sell out, they're gone for good. Having them stay on the website permanently, we've actually seen this a lot with FNaF. That first wave of Security Breach is still available to this day. And of course, the most discussed, timed releases. Instead of saying this will be gone when it sells out, Youtooz says this will be gone on this specific day at this specific time. And personally, I don't see this as a bad thing. In fact, I much prefer it.
I will end you!
Please just let me explain myself. I'm not talking about the 7 or 5 day time limits. That is ridiculous and honestly really scummy of them. And I hope that they never do a timed release that short again. However, giving you, let's say, a month to buy an item, telling you the exact day it will sell out is not only really good for me, a person who likes to plan out their purchases together, but it's also customer friendly. Instead of stressing out every single day, waiting for your next paycheck so you can hopefully buy Freddy Fazbear, praying that it won't sell out. The website just tells you, hey, this will sell out in 1 month. Don't sweat it. Of course, I would much prefer for everything to be available for all time forever. But do me a favor. Go to Funko's website and search for FNaF.
Okay, I just might do that. What am I supposed to be looking at? There's nothing here.
Exactly! When Funko randomly decides to remove 90% of their FNaF products from their website, only restocking the odd FNaF 1 wave with also no warning, not a single person gives a shit. But when Youtooz gives us advanced warning when they're going to sell out, FNaF fans find them irredeemable forever. I want that Glamrock Freddy statue so badly, but at the time I didn't have the money. And when I did, oops, now it's gone, never to return. But if Funko just told me when they were going to take it off the website, I probably wouldn't be considering a $300 piece of $50 plastic. Let me take a step back, because I don't want to send the wrong message. Only giving consumers 5 days to spend over $100 to $300 on items that you usually sell all year round is not only a terrible business practice, but it is also an awful thing to do to young fans or even just fans who work minimum wage jobs. Luckily, they don't always do these timed releases. It's usually like in every other figure wave thing. And these days, the time limit has quadrupled, now being the standard 30 days. So it seems like Youtooz is actually finally listening to their community. Was that fair?
Well, I would have said that they're fucking shit and I hate them, but yeah, I guess that was pretty fair. Also, Youtooz is fucking shit and I hate them.
Anyway, let's move away from disappointing practices from a big company and talk about disappointing practices from a big fictional company. Starting with Sun and Moon.
Is that your ringtone?
No, but it is my phone. Did someone change it? Hello? But I'm kind of, yeah, I mean, I'm right in the middle of recording. Can't this wait like an hour? Okay, fine. I'm coming. I don't want to say that. Fine, I'm coming, Your Highness.
Let me guess. Helpy?
Helpy.
Ugh, what does that creep want?
I'm not sure. Something about a grave warning and danger. Usual Helpy stuff.
Yeah. Sounds important.
But mainly he just wants to rub his new merch review show he stole from me in my face and call me names. It's in my new contract.
And that's what I expected. So, are you gonna go?
If I want to keep my job, I have to. But this is like the only time I have to film Prize Corner. I can't just skip a day. I'll be all out of whack. This has to be done by today.
But if you dodge Helpy, you'll have to dodge your freshly dug grave.
Right. I guess I'll just have to delay Prize Corner this month. Jesus, what the hell?
You can't do this to me! I mean the fans. What are they gonna do without their allotted 40 minutes of ranting? I need it. Which is to say, they need it.
This show really means that much to you?
The fans?
Right, the fans, sure.
Well, of course. It's their only real purpose in life. Plus, they get to talk about nerdy stuff with their best pal.
Look, CC, I really want to, but I just can't.
Well, what if I take over for the day?
Good one, CC. Take over.
I'm serious.
Really? No way.
Come on. Remember the Funko plush review? I did a great job then.
That is true.
And I can do your voice perfectly. I am a mimic after all. And I even have human arms that look like yours. It's foolproof. And I'm no fool.
It sounds like an idea, CC, but you are very opinionated. Are you really going to be able to get through 4 reviews of Security Breach without making this all about your feelings?
Well, when you put it that way, holy shit, what am I offering? But yes, I can totally handle it. And if I have the urge to say anything actually correct for once, I'll simply ignore it. Please, Weegee, just give me a chance to prove myself to you. I'm a good endo/human, and I want to show you that. Make you actually trust me, please.
How could I say no? Sure, CC. Fine. Under one circumstance.
Yes! Anything! What is it? Killing rats? I'm really good at that.
No talking about Hex.
What?
If you actually want to prove yourself to me, I need to know that you won't just turn this into a Hex review instead.
It won't.
CC, I need to hear it.
Okay, geez, fine. I won't talk about the amazing merch line that is Hex and how it's much better compared to Youtooz slop.
I do not have confidence in this, but Helpy is already prepping Bonbon to enter my face, so I guess I'll let you host Prize Corner. Come upstairs and I'll give you my notes. Okay, never mind.
No, that evil laugh was just a nervous tick, I swear!
What have I done? I was really excited to talk about Burntrap. Oh well, I guess I'll just tell Artlad while he's trying to sleep. Just as many people listen to me then.
Ah, is it good to be out of that basement? So much more spacious up here. And no dead rats filling up the corners.
Paradise, I have found you.
Oh, hey, Marionette. Looks like I'm your new boss. Go get me a coffee, wench! Okay, yep, I deserve that. I probably shouldn't waste any more time on pointless storylines. Okay, let's look at these notes here and, actually, these are pretty close to my real opinions. Maybe this won't be so bad after all.
First up is Sun and Moon. Really could have just called them the daycare attendant like the plush you just made, but whatever. Deciding to make 2 fan favorite characters into one figure is a strange decision, and I could see it easily backfiring, especially with my already mixed opinions on the characters being well known from last episode. But how about we just forget all about that and give them a second chance? I mean, you can't have atrocious printing on a figure, right? Funko. As always, let's start with the box. One change to the box as a whole is on the inside of them. In the first wave, it's in that big monitor room from the trailer with Vanny poking your head out from the darkness. But now, they all feature the character who is in that box. This is too much! With this, the characters are covering every single square inch of these boxes, and it's so weird. Especially since the figure is already in there. Why do we need 2 of them right next to each other? I mean, 3 if you count the front facade of the box, and 4 if you count the cover. That's 4 layers of the same picture. It looks kinda cool with Burntrap and Vanny, but look at Wet Floorbot. Oh, okay, that's actually kinda creepy. Either way, I guess it's kinda cute. Last time we looked at Security Breach, these boxes were, well, let's just say, they were fucking shit. The locations were fine, but some were mismatched, and since the game wasn't even out yet when they were designed, the quotes either have nothing to do with the animatronics they were attached to, or they were from Vanessa. So let's see if attempt 2 shows any improvement. This box handles this being 2 figures in one in a very creative way. The front features sun, and the top features moon, and the side shot just has them both peeking in. It's really cute, and the way that you can still see the opposite behind the one in front is really funny. The back of the box is a beautiful looking rendition of Sun's tower, the place you first see him in the game. It looks wonderful. It's colorful, yet the background is dark, just like the character. As for the quotes, there is only one rule: keep the lights on. On. And on the back, new friend, this area's off limits. You're going to get us in trouble. And finally, the top flap, I'm putting you in timeout. Ooh, so close. They had such a perfect opportunity to have this tell a story. Keep the lights on, the area's off limits, and then the obvious next choice is to have the top flap be a moon quote. But it isn't, meaning that this entire box is only based around Sun. Conspiracy theory time! I believe that Sun and Moon were originally going to be separate Youtooz, and it was that way for a long time, even after the boxes were fully designed. My evidence comes with this, a concept art render of Sun. This alone is proof to me, but more than that, the circuit board is fully modeled here. Why create this detailed new design if you aren't even going to be able to see it on the final figure? I think they made both of them, realized they were a bit flimsy, and just decided to combine them. But as this box was already made, they just used Suns with no changes, not even the quotes. How unfortunate. That being said, Sun is the better character, so this box is amazing. That one change would have made it perfect, but this is still an 8 out of 10 for me. Thank God these are good. This was a much needed break from the ass fest that we got with the last wave. Out of the box, Sun and Moon are really heavy. It's kind of funny because when you hold just one, as seen with the clips, he feels so light and fragile, but this is a blunt weapon. I love it. Oh, and they have a stand, so thankfully there's no worries about balancing this mass of solar bodies. And of course, they're stuck together. Would it have been nice to have them be able to come apart? Yes, obviously. As is, unless you bought 2 of these limited figures or you have a mirror, you can only display one of them at a time. But overall, I think this was a really nice choice. Not only do they look amazing together, all back to back, but this wasn't even more expensive. Sun and Moon were $30. That is a bargain for what would have been 60 separated. And like I said, I don't even mind them being glued. The only part that makes me sad is the fact that you can't see that circuit board I mentioned. But I guess we have Eclipse for that, so you can at least still see the pull string that the plushies weren't allowed to have, so that's good. How about things that are actually part of the design? Oh man, where do I start? How about I just put the original models next to this figure? Wow! With how ass the shoulder rounders were one wave ago, this is genuinely shocking. Every detail is captured so well. The shoes are angular, the pants aren't too much, and look pretty cute. The ribbons are fantastic. The sun rays and silly crazy hat are flawless. I love how they support the end of the nightcap by anchoring onto one of Sun's rays. That is so smart. I love how the segments of his body came out, especially with the color change Moon has. That's one thing, them being right next to each other definitely helps. They're posing. Oh my god, Youtooz, this is how you pose a character. Thank you. Sun is just man standing, but he's specifically referencing this pose seen all over Security Breach and Help Wanted 2. And Moon also does the same thing, but I'll save him for later. Huh. So he isn't man standing. So if half of him is and the other half isn't, what do I give him on the man standing count? Half a point each? These are basically their own figures. Just give one in both counts. One thing I'm less of a fan of is the bells. All of them are just yellow balls, which is hilarious, but looks really bad up close, especially the small ones on the wrists. That being positive is more fun, so let's talk about the faces. These look phenomenal! The craters and swoopy details were just made as divots in the plastic, and without shading, they are a little hard to see, but I think it makes them look a lot more natural. Wait, so they can do that detail? Less than a month later and they figure out these two swoops are different. Good for them. One thing that outlines would have definitely helped was the mouth. It just doesn't look as defined as I would have wanted it to be. And whereas the face details didn't matter, the mouth of a character should never not be a main focus. The nose, on the other hand, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. The shoulder riders made me forget it existed, but this is so pointy and well designed. I could easily make out the moon shape. Another thing I didn't like about the shoulder riders was the eyes. They were just way too big and didn't fit the daycare attendant's face very well. But you should know by now that these products are polar opposites opposites. Or should I say solar opposites? They look fantastic on here. I actually wish that the regular Sun and Moon had them, because they look way better than the real model's dumb googly eyes. This way it looks like they're squinting, whether it be they're looking for a kid or sun's too bright. I don't know. Either way, I love it, and it's one of my favorite uses of the eyes yet. Actively improving a character's design. Okay, fine. This figure does have some issues. Not many, mind you, but just one big one. The colors. Oh man. Sun's more yellow tan seen on the right half of his face and body is a bright, sickening neon yellow. It looks so bad and stands out way too much, basically drowning out all of the other colors completely. I don't hate this as much as some fans do. It's not great, but I've seen a lot worse. But I just can't ignore how much of an eyesore this is. So I kinda like it better than the regular Sun colors. Excuse me for a second.
Holy shit, what is this guy writing in these notes? I'm gonna be sick reading this! What is wrong with you? Okay, back to the video.
Sun in the actual game doesn't look yellow at all. He just looks tan. And a beige colored animatronic isn't exactly appealing. Yes, it is a bit too much here, but at least with these colors, you can actually see his yellow side. Plus, it makes him look a little bit more fun. Moon doesn't have this problem. He looks great, especially with the black part of his face. Oh, so cool. And with all those ups and ups and ups and ups, and one singular down. Yeah, this is one of the greatest Youtooz ever released. Are you kidding me? Two perfect figures in one. Amazing poses, incredibly accurate, very bright and colorful, in my opinion. And of course, actively making the original in-game design much better. Is it even a surprise this is a 10 out of 10? I mean, honestly, even separated, these had the potential to be a 9 at least. So putting them together, how could I resist? Thank you, Sun and Moon Youtooz, for reminding me that the daycare attendant isn't always bad. He has some good merch. Too bad we probably won't see much more of it after this video. Funko, please save me. I can't believe I just said that. The next Youtooz in this wave has some tough jester shoes to fill, but as long as it's another fan favorite, highly requested character and not like, oh, I don't know, a recolor of one of the 5 pre-existing characters, then it should be fine. I'm not even gonna act surprised. Hide and Seek Vanny is a variant of Vanny. You have 4 figures, and you wasted one on Vanny, but red. Come the fuck on. I've said this time and time again that a variant isn't inherently bad. Variants can be good and also worth including. Like, if the original figure has been sold out for a long time and was really popular, yeah, sure, make a flocked version so more fans can get them. That makes sense. But making the variant a timed exclusive when the original Vanny was still on the market and outlasted this Youtooz by like 2 more years is just absolutely ridiculous. But you know, I also think that a super special variant that does something really unique, like Chrome Gold Freddy being a timed exclusive, also works. Maybe not in the middle of an otherwise fully original wave, but sure. Let's hold off and give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Yootooz's idea for Hide and Seek Vanny was so good, they had to shove it into this complete wave. Or maybe they just combined Sun and Moon and had an open slot in the list, which may explain why she's the second figure right after the daycare attendant. More proof for my theory, oh boy! Her box is actually really cool. It shows a POV of Gregory inside of Freddy inside a charging pod, and in the distance, a dancing rabbit lady. Ooh. This perfectly shows what they were going for with this variant. And the little touches like the HUD and the power bar actually being there makes it all that much better. However, Vanny skipping in the red light only makes me miss the original figure more. So yeah, if the only thing I was ranking was the art, this would definitely be one of my favorites. But we still have to look at the quotes. Look, I know Vanny doesn't have a lot to go off of, but just putting, "Are you having fun yet?" It's a bad Vanny impression. And not the one quote where the name of this figure actually comes from is just stupid. You don't even have to make it say hide and seek. Just make it say ready or not. Yeah, she's never actually said that, but it's better than 2 random nonsense quotes from Freddy, which, by the way, he didn't even say. Are you kidding me? If you're struggling so hard, just put something from Vanessa. You seemed fine doing that when it was Roxy and Chica for some reason. This is a classic case of amazing art, but with some shit-ass quotes. So, unfortunately, I'll have to give it an 8 out of 10. Wait. What? Did I just read that right? Come on, the art is still way more important here, and this is amazing! So yeah, it gets a high score. I just can't give it a 10. So let's rip this sucker out of the box and... Oh. This really is just a shitty recolor, huh? Oh, but wait, this isn't just Vanny with a new coat of paint. She also has a new pose. Ooh, what the hell is this? She's standing still, so yes, man standing, already a downgrade, and gesturing to the left like a game show host. Seriously, what is this supposed to be? Is it a reference to the game I just don't understand? She doesn't exactly have a lot to take from. Is she like... clapping? Dusting off her hands? I mean, I won't lie, I do think it's cute. The gesture followed by her sticking out her hip is very fitting for Vanny. But I can't just ignore that this is utter nonsense and not taken from anywhere when the original was a perfect reference, not man standing, and also really adorable. Why change it to make it worse? This should have been the first try. Okay, fine, so the pose is weird. I don't hate it, so clearly the figure is good, right? Look at her face. They made her face the exact same red as her eyes, and now the entire thing blends together. What is the theme here exactly? It's called Hide and Seek Vanny. What the fuck does that even mean? Once again, this isn't something taken from the game. Is it just that she said that once? So that's the name of the variant? These names have to mean something. Golden Freddy, yes, that makes sense. Withered Freddy, that bitch is old. Got it. Toy Freddy, he's made of plastic. Sure. Hide and Seek Freddy. What, is he like in a box? Behind a bush? Oh no, he's red? Oh, sorry, my mistake. I didn't realize that this gradient of red was called the hide and seek gradient. I should have known. The red has to be from the trailers of her skipping down the hall, which doesn't even happen in the games. A variant should not come from a trailer. But whatever, at least it comes from something. So let me get this straight. This variant was not made because the old one was hard to find, is actively less interesting than the original, and doesn't have a cool idea behind it. Well, okay, yeah, that's pretty bad, but is it actually good? What do you think? On the website, this gradient is stunning. That dark, dried blood red rising to a more fresh blood red looks beautiful on this render. This makes perfect sense, and I love it. This is how it looks in person. Oh God. What happened? It isn't like the worst thing in the world, but the colors came out so differently, especially the light red. It looks so faded and off. The dark red still looks alright, but without the other pretty color, it just makes her look entirely out of place. One thing I do like is how they turned her big blue bow and her hands to black. It contrasts so well with the red and looks really sick, but that's all I can really say. The concept of Vanny but red had absolutely no potential whatsoever. And while the finished product proves that, I will say that this is technically better than it could be. 2 out of 10. They fumbled their chance to make a Vanny variant so hard. The original model was great, and while I personally can only think of one option, put Vanessa's head on her, that seems like a little more than just a variant. But in a wave with only 4 figures, that would have been a lot more fitting and much more creative. This is so damn lazy. And I'm gonna stick to my theory that this figure was shot out just to replace Moon after they combined the daycare attendant into one figure. There's really no other reason that this would exist, and as the second figure. I guess she really is a product of circumstance. How sad. Moving fast today, already on the 3rd Youtooz of the video. Yeah, I know I could go on and on about how weird of a choice this was, and how they should have just made Gregory or Vanessa, but I just had to talk about hide and seek Vanny. After that, Wet Floorbot is very welcome. Wet Fit Bet has some pretty standard quotes. I mean, what else would they be? But the back of the box actually has no quote and focuses on the art instead, which has Wet Floorbot doing a sick spin in a puddle of water in front of a Pizzaplex blast door. I didn't get this for the longest time. I thought he was just playing around and having fun. But this red bit here definitely implies that the player just shot him with the Phaser Blaster, and that's why he's spinning. Yeah, that doesn't really come across with the eyes. I'm just gonna pretend he's dancing. I like this box. The art is cute, but the quotes are boring. But hey, at least they didn't make me mad like the previous two. I think that all balances out to another 8 out of 10. This has been a pretty solid series of boxes, huh? Glad to see they've improved since last time. Removing him from his cardboard casing, look at how funny the plastic insert is. It is the exact shape of the bot. It actually reminds me of that one SpongeBob gag. Wet Floorbot is Wet Floorbot. Like, exactly. What the hell do I even say about him? Well, he's made out of that same stiff plastic that Sprite Purple guy was, making him feel a tad cheap. But since I can't see myself touching him very often, I mean, he's basically perfect. I can see a lot of people not liking the size of the head, but I think it's adorable, especially with the giant bear ears on his head, which in game are actually speakers. Does this make him a Freddy variant? They even fixed the eye color from the pin. Oh, Youtooz. He can be a little too much yellow, but the black of the face and the ears help a lot. He does kind of look like a bumblebee though. The body shape is so good. And the print of the slipping Freddy is so good. I mean, it looks perfect, which I know doesn't seem that impressive, but I just talked about Hero World, and you'd be surprised at how easily these toy companies can funk up those painted details. One color thing I'm less of a fan of is the gray of his body. It looks really dull and brings down his happy appearance. In the game and on the pin, these parts are silver. And I know Youtooz doesn't do silver paint, but it would have made Wet Floorbot look even better than he already does. Seriously, Youtooz, please look into metallic paint. And that leads me to my final point. Yeah, really, I actually have nothing to say about this Youtooz. It's just good, and that's it. Anyway, is this man standing? Like, he doesn't have legs of which to stand with, but also he's just positioned upright. I guess I never considered I'd becoming a paraplegic on this show. I'm gonna say yes, man standing. But I mean, what the hell else can you do with Wet Floorbot? It's Wet Floorbot! You could have had a puddle as the base and have him spinning around like the back of the box, but that just feels unnecessary. It's Wet Floorbot! And after mulling it over for quite a while, I think that a 7 out of 10 is the most fair score I can give him. If I was making this review just based on accuracy, I'd be singing an entirely different tune. But as much as I think Wet Floorbot is a cute and charming addition to Security Breach, I just can't say that a vinyl figure of him is something I really needed or wanted. But overall, I'm glad it exists, even if just so that my husband Artlad can appreciate it. But that begs the question, the iconic age-old question. But what does Artlad think?
Huh? I thought I was doing Burntrap.
Yeah, right. We both know you want to talk about wet floor, bitch. Ow!
What are you doing up here?
Weegee gave me permission. He has a business meeting.
What? No way he let you talk about Vanny without him. Where'd you hide his body?
I would never kill my BFF forever. You, on the other hand.
I'm out.
Wait, no, come on. I was just kidding. Look. I have to prove myself to him, that I can be a good friend, a good host. And if I don't even have the iconic age-old segment, but what does Artlad think in my review? Well, it's basically pointless anyway.
Ah, okay, fine. I'll talk about the wet floor boy.
Hooray!
Also, why are you wearing a blanket over your head?
Oh, so you don't see my horrific Lovecraftian body and immediately take back all your sympathy towards me.
Oh. Hooray. This figure is everything I needed and wanted. Just look at him. He's so cute. My perfect little sturdy guy. This little fella is super accurate, excluding the obvious stylistic choices of Youtooz. He's got the perfect body shape, the tiny neck to hold his big ass head, and the caution sign with the slipping glam rock Freddy. Everything is perfect, right down to his colors. Well, most of his colors. As Weegee pointed out, Youtooz doesn't do metallic, but for the love of God, please stop making it this light gray when dark gray would just look so much better. I'm hoping Youtooz has realized this now, considering Ruin Chica's endo is a dark gray, and that looks amazing. As for the other glaringly obvious problem of his material, well, the base is at least made out of a normal heavy vinyl that Youtooz uses, so he has some weight to him, leading him to feel much better than the purple guy figure when you hold him in your hand. He could be the world's cutest paperweight. For Wet Floorbot, I'll be giving him a 9 out of 10. I know I didn't have too much to say about him, but honestly, a figure of a character that I love that's so spot on doesn't really need a ton said about him. He's basically perfect.
And finally, the last figure of the wave, Burntrap. Wait, we're already almost done? I thought every episode was going to be an hour long from now on. Before even talking about the box, let's talk about the website. These always have a unique twang of creativity in the form of colorway, but I usually put them in a little pop-up on the bottom of the screen because they're never all that interesting. But Burntrap is the first one that I want to draw attention to. Remains. Whoa. Not only does that fit the character perfectly, but it also doesn't take a stance, meaning that you can view that in any way you'd like. Since we're already here, pronouns. So Youtooz has been very careful with pronouns, especially after misgendering the Stupendium in their own description. They do not make any decisions on gender unless it's 100% clear. For example, Burntrap uses they/them, the Mimic as well. And it isn't just a default. Vanny gets she/her, but Wet Floorbot? they, them. Bonnie and Freddy are clearly he, him, but Marionette gets the old theming. Sure, some get more specific pronouns, but if your character even has a hint that they might be something else, they, them. Even some that you'd think would be an easy choice, like Springtrap or Anim Dude. Yeah, they get they'd as well. Now, does this mean anything? Well, besides that Youtooz wants to be as inclusive as possible? No, of course not. Maybe I could use this as a look, Burntrap is the mimic moment, but as we've seen, it isn't exactly a smoking gun. Oh well, the books do that enough for me anyway. Why bring attention to this then? Really, I just wanted to balance the scales and call attention to a business practice I really appreciate from Youtooz. They could just assume a set gender for every single figure they make, but they don't. If they aren't sure, they err on the side of caution, which is especially nice for characters like Mangle, Spring Bonnie, or Meeseeks, who usually have that part of their identity ignored completely by merch. So, good on you, Youtooz. That being said, I'm just gonna call Burntrap he, him. Now, does that make me a hypocrite? Probably, but who cares? I'm also not calling Scott Cawthon non-binary. Okay, anyway, the actual product. The box. It's okay. The other three did an amazing job with their scenes, even with some not so great quotes. They were at least visually nice to look at and weren't just a character standing in a vaguely designed room. Oops! Okay, they do deserve a little bit of leeway here, as there wasn't exactly much to work off. And at least he's in an interesting pose, bursting through a doorway like that. When does this happen in the game? I guess he went from room to room in the boss fight, but really? That's what you picked? Not him trying to infect Freddy or getting grabbed by the blob in the ending, or hell, even him coming out of the charging pod. He's literally in the same pose. Are you kidding? Well, maybe the quotes would be good. You know he doesn't speak in game, right? They could have used his speech from the trailer, but it isn't clear how much of that's even canon. But come on. When I first found you would have been 1 trillion times cooler than quick hide, oh no, and of course his iconic catchphrase, ee-hee-hee-hee. All of these are made up! They didn't even throw it in I am not me or even a stop him. Is this really all you could come up with? 3 out of 10. If the back wasn't tinted purple, this would be even lower, but even with that being the one thing I kinda like, why not just put him in a flame? Anything but walking through a door and looking off into space. Damn, broke a perfect 8 out of 10 streak. While the box may have disappointed me as much as the character did in game, I actually really like Burntrap's design, so hopefully the product itself will be better. Let's take a look. Okay. I have a major problem. That problem being, I have no idea where to even start. How about this? Is it fair to say this is the most accurate Youtooz of all time? Because I sure do. I wasn't kidding. There is so much spot-on detail here that I have no idea what to mention first. How about the withering? Every single tiny speck on this vinyl figure is exactly where that same speck is on the actual model. That's impressive. And the withering above his eye even shows the flesh underneath it. In fact, his flesh is everywhere. It coils around the hands and arms perfectly. The pelvis sticks to the endo just like the game as well. And he even has his bone finger. Oh my god, these look so damn good. What a cool detail to include. And let's not discount the regular fingers too. For being so simple, these rock. A perfect stylized version of his endo hands. The only place the guts don't appear are the bottom of the legs, which does make the endo foot look very bare. Look at how accurate they got the feet. This is just like the game. They even got the little spring lock rings around the legs. It all comes together so well. And that other leg doesn't even have that bare problem at all. That one has a little piece of the costume still in the leg and the scrap trap like paw pads. I love this so much. I mean, we don't even need to talk specifics. In general, he is shaped so well. His body, pelvis, legs, and arms, all identical to his model in game, complete with the pose. That well-being man standing is taken from the original games. His head is a little on the fat side, but honestly, unless you're doing a side-by-side comparison and looking at every tiny detail, you would never notice this. The main complaint I see with this Youtooz is the color of the flesh, and yeah, the website does not make it look very appealing. But if I'm being honest, it looks great in person. Not as dark and burnt as the original game, yeah, but that doesn't even look good on the actual model. This is more cartoony and cute and fits the style really well. And honestly, I think it's all it had to be. Plus, the bumps and grooves fit very well with his big, scary yellow teeth. I especially love how part of his muzzle is indented. That is sick. You want a problem? Fine, I'll give you a problem. I wish the eyes were a darker shade of purple. This is too lavender and not menacing at all. It looks too friendly. It should be piercing and harsh. Okay, there, it said something negative. Anyway, well, those two colors colors may be more decisive, the color of the costume is so good. It's the perfect shade of greenish yellow, and it not only fits Burntrap well, but it would have been a way better color for Springtrap too. The ears are a bit wimpy, but in this case that's fine, because they are the exact same amount of wimpy in-game as well, along with those really detailed and well-modeled wires that descend from them. Okay, I said a lot of good, but let's be fair once again and discuss the bad. This dude does not stand up, like even for a second. I literally had to tape him to my shelf so he'd stay in one place. Youtooz, how did you not realize he needed a stand? He leans forward so much he's ridiculously top heavy. And there, a totally fair and balanced review. Oh, except for the fact that we haven't even seen my favorite part of the figure. They actually gave him a detailed back. Huh? When designing the back of their figures, most merch companies take the Grian approach. They think about the back for 1 second and then go, no one will see this anyway, and then half-ass it to oblivion. Burntrap is a prime example of this. He's so smooth. But when we turn his cousin around, wow, they didn't skimp on a single thing. The giant metal plates holding his back together that you can't even see in game, oh, they're there. The endoskeleton spine merged with his flesh, you betcha Youtooz included it. And these last two metal plates desperately holding together what little there is left of this costume together, well, they are in the wrong place, but they are still there. These details were so unnecessary. They're always out of view, so these details are unknown by most FNaF fans. So unknown that if you left it out, honestly, I doubt I would have even complained. But the fact that they went the extra mile, took those extra design moments to model and create these obscure details for a character most FNaF fans hate, is not only admirable, but just genuinely shocking. And of course, impressive. 10 out of 10. This isn't just a great figure to me, but Youtooz Burntrap feels like an apology for the train wreck that was Youtooz Springtrap. Every single feature on here is the exact opposite of what that last one did. And that is a good thing literally all the way through. No, seriously, the one thing Springtrap does better is have a stand. Bro, even Balloon Foxy can do that.
Oh my god. Balloon Foxy made me bleed.
The fingers, the withering, the gore, the legs, the feet, the arms. Not Afton's head is actually featured on the item. Even the ears and the eyes that I still have a problem with are better than these half-ass white shits. I don't understand how a company could make this awful load of crap and then in the very next wave make this masterpiece. Unless they actively saw that they made a mistake and decided that they wanted to make a change. And if this is what we have to look forward to in Youtooz future, let's just say, I am so damn excited for the next vinyl review. When is it anyway? Let me check my calendar. And, no. Oh, it's next year. And it's a whole set of just variants. And then the one after that is yet another set of variants for the exact same characters. And then that set has variants of its own. 2026 is going to be awesome. Let's just forget about that for now. Youtooz did the unthinkable and made Burntrap merch. And that on its own is crazy enough. But they also decided to make it good. I mean, round of applause. They did the impossible twice. I guess 2 rounds of applause is. Wait. Let me see that schedule again. Oh, come on. Really? Ugh. What? That's not even FNaF. Twisted Ones? He chose Twisted Ones Funko Pops over Hex? He told me he didn't have room. And this is what he meant? This is fine. I need to be a good co-host. I can be a good co-host. I can be good. I guess I need to do an outro, huh? Fine, let's get this over with. Youtooz latest slop fest is ass and I hate. Ugh, here's a tip. Oh. Never mention ball pits to Helpy. He hates those things. Oh, thank God. I was just about to lose it. I mean, yeah, it was no problem. Super easy. Oh, good. Thanks for helping me out, CC. There were no problems at all? Nope. Smooth sailing. I think I only tried to climb out of my own body once. I guess your opinions weren't too bad today. Aw, well, that's great to hear. I'm proud of you. Really? I know now that I can trust you with my show. You know, if something Helpy related ever happens again. Gee, that's, I mean, it's an honor. Oh, looks like you didn't do the outro yet. You want to finish off the episode, buddy? Hell no! You cap off this shit on your own! I'm out of here! But, I actually had a lot of fun. So, thank you. Alright then, I guess I get to talk about FNaF merch today after all. Youtooz second attempt at security breach figures was definitely odd. But odd does not equal bad. I would much rather get 3 random nonsense characters like Wet Floorbot than Freddy Fazbear, but this time he's fuzzy. And while not all of these were executed perfectly, okay, yes they were. It was literally just Vanny who sucked. I gave this set 2 10 out of 10s for crying out loud. This series was amazing. And unfortunately, I can't make it the first wave to get a 10 because of a certain red lady. However, it will be the first merch wave I give a 9 out of 10. Oh yeah, even with this obvious pimple stuck to this wave of perfect example of stylized figures, that still isn't even close to enough to weigh this down any lower. I love these silly little figures. I adore their tiny details, I appreciate their style, and I cherish their inclusion to my shelf. I just have to like shove her a little bit further back. A little more. Perfect. Thank you all so much for watching. Tier list, yeah. Anyway, I may not have been present the whole time, but this video was really great. I really love getting to be positive, even if it's a lot harder to write. And with the next few Youtooz waves being, well, I probably shouldn't spoil it, but let's just say I'll try my best to savor this one. But I guess the video's over for me now, huh? I'll see you all next time as we stay on the security breach train and revisit one of my favorite merch lines for the 3rd season in a row. See you all on the flip side. Hey CC, did you even mention Hex at all today?
You know, maybe once or twice. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's okay. I just don't want it to take over the video like it did the last time. I don't hate Hex. It just isn't the right time.
Right. No time, huh? Full schedule. Or did I get that twisted?
Yep. Sorry, I planned these seasons pretty far in advance. And there's nothing I can bump.
Nope. Not even one video can be moved to another season. Not even one. A twisted one, perhaps.
Yep. That's pretty much how it shakes out.
Cool. Well, at least the episode is over. Now I can talk about Hex all I want.
Wait, can we go back? Did you read my top secret?
Did you see that new Jackie plush? The game might not be out yet, but my peak alarm is going off. Wee-oo, wee-oo.
Glitch trap. I woke up from my iconic nap and I'm all red. What happened while I was out?
I don't know.
Wait, you sound different. Weren't you British before?
No, that was, retconned? Yeah, there was retconned.
You have more flesh inside you than I remember. Where did you get all that?
It definitely has nothing to do with you being red.
And weren't you like a mascot costume? And also not real and or maybe in hell?
You sound like totally crazy right now.
Kill all shoulder
Daycare attendant,
riders.
I need a second opinion.
Huh? What is it, weird red rabbit? I don't remember living here before.
Didn't Glitch Trap used to be a stuffed rabbit suit in a video game?
What the hell am I looking at?
Oh, you've met Glitch before, right?
I am so lost.
Or maybe that was Gregory. Well, I guess you can go. Oh, you're dead now. Now, how did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe you should just drop it. Seems normal to me.
Why would Sun just die right when I start asking questions? I think I need to do some
Oh no, I'm alive, and I totally remember Burntrap always looked and sounded like that. Tee.
Who the hell is Burntrap?
That's his new name. Don't dead name him, bigot. Nah, I totally remember seeing him before, and he was totally like that already. Also, you're red because Merry Christmas?
Ooh, that makes perfect sense. I'm sorry I doubted you, Burntrap. Okay, back to being brainwashed and questioning nothing. La 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 la.
Ah, nailed it.